We are bringing you to Cambodia. We're going to first of all take you on a walk in a local village and then bring you to one of the great temple sites at Angkor. Now we're taking a ride out into the countryside. Right away you see the rice paddies and the water buffalo. They're grazing out there. These are the working animals that pull the plows during the day when they're farming. Passing more of the rice paddies, we're going out to a local village in the outskirts of Siem Reap. It's about 5 miles outside of town. A good way to get around in Cambodia is on a tuk-tuk. A little different than riding on the back of a motorcycle or in a regular taxi or in a bus. Here it's open air. It's like a jitney. They call it a tuk-tuk. Not expensive. And it'll take you all around the town and out to the sights if you like. And your driver can wait for you and then take you on to the next site and so on. You could hire them for half a day, approximately $5 an hour. That's a very good deal. You want to speak to the driver, of course, ahead of time and work out a fair price for everybody. And then take a ride through Siem Reap on a tuk-tuk. It might all seem very exotic to us, unusual tuk-tuk and old-fashioned buildings, but this is the daily way of life in Cambodia. Now, most tourists are not going to go out here and stop by and visit the village, but we are. Most tourists are just driving by on their way to see the monuments, the wonderful ancient temples of Angkor Wat. But we're going to hop out and meet some of the local people. Right away, we run into a whole bunch of kids. They're out here working. They're selling their handicrafts. These are generally items that are made right in the village, perhaps by themselves or their relatives. And these are great little salespeople. Pretty hard to resist. They don't get that many customers here because most people drive on by, but the occasional bicyclist will stop or the occasional interested tourist will stop. Okay, what's the village name? Yeah, the village. Nice village. So you're going to take me on a walk in your village? You can be my tour guides, okay? Be my tour guides in the village? So you all live in this village? Who understands English? Anybody speaks English? No? Okay, kids. And they're going to take me on a little walk through town. It's a rather simple village, but this is really typical of the way of life of about half the people of Cambodia. Some live in the cities or the larger towns. Phnom Penh is the main city, of course. Siem Reap is also considered a city. But the village life is much more traditional here in Cambodia. And right away we see they're pulling water out of a well. Now that tells us that there's no running water in these houses. They've got a few pumps and they've got a couple of wells, and then they haul the water in buckets into their home, put it on a shoulder stick and carry it home. Traditional way of life that's been going on here virtually for centuries. So we give the kids some gum. You share. You can share? You share. They're happy to get some treats. If you feel like it, certainly you want to buy some things from these kids. They are irresistible. Well, it's a way of life that is much different than that in the Western world. Cambodia, after all, is a relatively poor country. And yet these kids have got a promising future. It's going to be a different life for them, certainly, than their parents and their grandparents experienced. Cambodia went through difficult times way back from the mid-19th century when they were occupied by the French. Here's another example of a well, a pump bringing water up out of the well. And it's donated by the Angkor Clean Water Project. Relaxing under the houses, this is a very typical place to take a rest, take an afternoon nap, hang out with your baby. It's cooler under the house rather than inside the house, so you'll find hammocks and people out just taking a rest. We're here in the afternoon. The villagers were very welcoming. They didn't mind at all this tourist walking around through their property. And they're out to sell some goods if possible. Who could resist this little girl with her scarves? She's selling little scarves. Only a few dollars for some local hand-woven materials. And out here in the backyard we see there's a banana grove. They grow a variety of their vegetables. And of course they grow rice as the main staple crop. And they've got a few items for sale to the tourist if any tourist should happen to wander by in the little village. Now we come across the farmer with his water buffalo. These are the sturdy animals that will pull the plow through the rice paddies. About 80% of the people of Cambodia are still following agricultural lifestyle. They're primarily farmers. They might have a secondary job. They might be involved in the tourism industry as well, or working in a garment factory or in a shop. But the main occupation in the country is farming. And of course the main crop they're growing is rice. We see here one of the rice paddies. They'll bring the water in and irrigate the paddy, flood it as a ponded paddy field. There's some chickens more running around here in this farm scene. And they'll get maybe one crop a year, sometimes two crops a year. Not usually a very intensive kind of rice cultivation, like some countries are able to get 3 crops, even 4 crops. That's really pushing it. And they store the rice right out here in the warehouses. Kids love to pose for photographs. Such friendly people. Really heartwarming to see. Some travelers have been known to sponsor a child in Cambodia. And you can certainly do that. You can contribute something like $300 a year and it could pay for their education. And of course there's ways you can find out about how to sponsor a child. Just go online and Google it. I'm sure you'll easily find out ways to help out with these kids. Oh, you're fast. Pedaling bicycles is one of the basic ways they'll get around. They're too young for motor scooters yet. Some more friendly ladies here. They're creating some kind of a sweet sugar concoction, eager to give us a free sample. And yes, it was sweet and tasty. The bicyclist coming by to have another look at this product, this little food snack. The people of Cambodia are getting by with agriculture, and tourism is becoming increasingly important, of course, to them now, as millions of visitors are coming in every year. Working in the rice fields is hard on the body. You're bent over and stooping all day harvesting. So the tourism industry offers a nice alternative. Building a new house, but in the traditional style up on stilts to keep it as cool as possible. Native woodwork here with a simple plane. There's some excellent trees they're able to harvest. About 70% of the country is forested. And some of these tropical hardwoods are really good for construction. He's building an addition to his house and doing most of the work himself. A couple of ducks walking around, and there's an old-fashioned wooden cart, an ox cart, still in use today, of course. Now here's how they get their electricity. That's right, it's car batteries all connected together and a big old pumping generator charging them up, which tells us that no, they do not have electricity running through the village as we would think of. It's all coming from car batteries and generators. And again, this is very typical. Here you can buy some alcohol. They refill a Scotch bottle with their own homemade alcohol in that shop. Massage in Southeast Asia is really an art form. Of course, Thailand, the neighboring country, is most famous for Thai massage, but the Cambodians also enjoy a good rub down. You can see these folks are very in tune with the natural environment. This young lady is building a chair. Handmade construction from scratch. Hammer and an axe and putting it together. Her little brother watching over things. And some water buffalo in the background. A very rustic and rural scene. She's not going out to Home Depot to get some supplies or going to the mall to buy a chair, but making it for herself. Well, the Cambodians really take good care of these animals because these are the creatures who are pulling the plows in the rice paddies. They're doing most of the work. They don't generally have machine plows to do the work for them in the rice paddies here in the simple local villages. It's manpower, muscle power, and animal power. Dropping in on an afternoon meal, rice and fish. Is this the kitchen? Having lunch? Typical sustenance here. Very simple surroundings and friendly folk. They don't mind saying hello while they're having lunch. Rice and vegetables. The per capita GDP, gross domestic product, here is about $2,000. That GDP is relatively low. It puts Cambodia in the lower ranks of nations of the world, something like 180th out of 220 countries. Most of the other poorest countries are in Africa. So these people really could use some help, and one way you can certainly consider helping is by visiting the country as a tourist. And when you come, buy something from the local vendors. There are so many great attractions to see, as we're showing you in the program at Angkor Wat and the great temples. But it's also fascinating to come and have a look at this village life, putting the rice they've harvested into some burlap sacks for storage. Mostly these are subsistence farmers. They're really not growing rice for export or for sale. Mostly it's for their own consumption. Cambodia is largely self-sufficient when it comes to food. And here's some examples of the native baskets and handicrafts that you can purchase in the village. Or get palm drink, like a coconut. That's one of their staple foods from the palm trees. And then moving along, we're back into the tuk-tuk and now driving past the village that we've just been enjoying the walk through. It's been quite an experience. Again, most tourists don't ever bother to get out of their bus or off their car to walk in the village, but you're most welcome to do it and bring a little money along and purchase some items from the kids while you're there. Maybe purchase some foods or some other little snacks and handicrafts and baskets. And that way you're contributing to that local economy and having a most authentic local experience while you're at it. Fortunately, my tuk-tuk driver walked with me through the village and acted as my ambassador and was able to translate for me and get permission to help take many of these photos. And then we took a break for lunch. This is a wonderful restaurant, the Tropical Restaurant in Siem Reap, Cambodia, with some typical local dishes, and it was just a tasting feast. They kept bringing one course after another. You had to be there to really appreciate it. A lot of fresh greens and vegetables and egg rolls and soups and fish and meats and chickens. It really was outstanding lunch, and the price was only about $20 per person for a major feast with drinks included. You're watching our group. This was part of our tour to Southeast Asia. We visited Vietnam and Cambodia and Bangkok. And you can see all of the programming on our website at tourvideos.com. It's available anytime. We've got over 800 movies from previous world travelers, all available for free to you at tourvideos.com. That fish dish was really Really tasty. That was the most wonderful fish of the whole trip. And then getting on our tour bus for a visit to the great temples.
We're ready to go to the temples to explore Temple Khmer Empire. And on the way that we can see there are some building like apartment for the local people only. The first thing that we are going to visit we call Angkor.mov. What does Angkor mean? So Angkor.mov is meaning that the big capitals, one of the ancient Khmer capitals from the 12th centuries. The king doesn't stay there anymore. Right now, the king is staying in the Grand Palace in Phnom Penh. In Angkor.mov, we will see South Gate, and after that we will see Bayon temple. Yeah, Bayon is a temple with 4 faces of the Buddha, and a lot of Buddha in Bayon temples. And after Bayon, we will visit Bapun. Yeah. And after Bapun, we will visit the terrace of the elephant and the terrace of the leopard king. And after that, we come back to the hotels in the evening, and we have a dinner show tonight, Cambodian show, Cambodian dancing, with a very nice performance tonight as well, with Cambodian food. So you can try the Cambodian food and watch out the Cambodian show tonight. The ticket that I gave you is very important for the trips. So please keep it with you all the time. Yeah. And before we go into the entrance, we stop at the gate and we have to show the ticket to the security. If we don't have the ticket, the security is not allowed us to go into the temples. The place that we are stopped here, we call South Gate of Angkor.mov. Angkor.mov is the capital which has 4 entrances. That the people can come into this entrance from the south, from the north, from the east, and from the west entrance. But the one of the entrance that's still in the good condition, that is the south entrance here. Angkor.mov was the big capital of Cambodia in the late 12th centuries, and it was built by the king Jayavarman VII. This is the king he would like to dedicate the temple to Buddhists. Yes, to Buddhists. Because during the old day, we can see that some king built a temple dedicated to Hindu, and some king he built a temple dedicated to Buddhists. But we can recognize that this is a temple that dedicated to the Buddhists, because we can see on the top of the gate over there a decoration with the faces of Buddha. And that is the 4 faces of the Buddha. One face are looking to our direction, another face behind, another face look to the left, and another face looks to the right hand side here. They are decorated by a group of the demons are standing on the right hand side, and the group of the gods, they are standing on the left hand side. But we can see some of the statue is no head. During the Civil War in 1980, there was a lot of fighting here between the government soldier and the guerrilla soldier. The dimension of this capital is 3 kilometers each side. That means 3 by 3. Altogether, this capital is 9 square kilometers.
Compare this in size to Vatican City, which is half a square kilometer, or to the great temple at Karnak in ancient Egypt, which is 2 square kilometers. That's why Angkor is claimed to be the world's largest religious complex. And notice how the enclosed area of Angkor.mov is much larger than the more famous Angkor Wat just to the south.
During the old day in the 12th centuries, the special people they live inside the capital, and the common people they live outside the capital. The king, the royal family, or some people who work for the government, they all together live inside the capital. And for the farmer, the normal people, they live outside the capital. So the people who live outside, they cannot go into the capital. We will be see the temple inside.
This place is just packed with monuments, but all of them are relevant. We're looking at one here, there is one there is one beyond. There are tons of monuments inside here. We're going to scratch the surface in the 2 days that we are here, just to get a feeling. Now, just to give you an idea, we're inside Angkor, and this, as Seti said, was the political and religious heart of the city. This was not the city, this was like the citadel, and only the political and religious high officials could come inside here. The people could not come here. So let's go see the next.
This is we call Bayon. It's a temple that the king, he dedicated this temple to Buddhists. Yeah, to Buddhists. As we can see, there are many faces of the Buddha on the top of the tower of the temples. Altogether, we have 54 towers. The 54 towers of this temple is symbol to the Cambodian provinces during the old day. So that means during the 12th century, Cambodia had 54 provinces. But right now, Cambodia has only 24 provinces. That means we lose some part of our province. There was a lot of invading from another neighbor country who get the land from Cambodia. Some part of Cambodia is go to Vietnam or go to Laos, go to Thailand for that. This temple was built in the late 12th centuries by the King Jayavarman VII. Many people, they believe that and they thinking that this is a royal palace, but of course not. The king, he doesn't stay or he doesn't sleep in this temple, but he just only built this temple for celebrate the religious party or for praying or for meeting with the religious people, or sometimes he come for making a meditation in this temple. And after finish the ceremony, everybody they go back home and the king he go back to the royal palace. So nobody sleep or stay in this one temple at all here. The stone that they used to build this temple here are built of sandstone. And you know, the sandstone are made taken from the Culinary mountain. Yes, Culinary mountain that is about 50 kilometers from here. And during the old day, how to transportation the stones, that is why they make a bamboo raft. And they cut the stone from the mountain and they're floating on the bamboo raft by the river. And after that, they send the elephant to the river and they pull the stone one by one from the river to put in the temple here. So we call sandstone. Besides the sandstone, we have another stone like we call lava stones. But the lava stone is the people they dig under the ground and then they can see the lava stone for that. It look like the volcanic rock for that. This temple, it look like very ruined. Yeah, not good conditions because the king during he built this temple, he pushed the architecture to build it quickly and not concentrate to the quality. So that is why this temple is not look strong. He's thinking that he could be died before the temple complete. Some part of this temple are under restoration that's supported by the government of the Japan and UNESCO. We can see a lot of stone is scattered everywhere and we try to looking where is a stone to put it back to the temple, and sometimes they do the excavations in the temple like that here. So in this gallery is talking about the king procession, talking about the soldier processions, talking about the King Jayavarman VII soldier. They have also the music team. This is a music team. They are playing the gong, and this is the trumpet. Some people are playing the trumpets, and some people are playing the gong, and some part of the other gallery, we can see the people are playing the drum as well. On the elephant, they always have the mahout. This is mahout. There is a driver of the elephant. This is the statue of the Buddha that we call Avaluki Utiswara. That is a long name of the Buddha. That this temple was dedicated to Avaluki Utiswara. Sometimes he have 4 faces. Sometimes you can see they have 4 arms. Sometimes you can see this god has many arms. And here they are making a salute. Yeah, saluting of praying. Yeah, over here there is the old religious people, the teacher of the king Jayavarman VII. You can see in this area they build many temples, but they are not from the same king and not from the same year. Some of them are from 10th century, 11th century, 12th century, and the last one that we see here is from the 16th centuries here. Yeah. And the different religion as well, Buddhist, Hindu or other Hindu temple. There is a temple that we call Bapun that was built in the 11th centuries, dedicated to Hindu. But later, in 16th century, Buddhists came back into this temple and they try to convert this temple from Hindu to Buddhist. So today, we can see there are 2 religions in this one temple. Half of this temple are designed in Hindu and half of this temple are designed in Buddhist. Right now, this temple is under restoration by French. They spent a long year to restoration this temple because the foundation of this temple is not so good, and many stones now fall down from this temple. There are a lot of 100,000 of pieces of stone of this temple has been falling down. So that is why you can take a picture of one here and we walk. This is the area of the elephant terrace here with 350 meter long. One elephant, but they have 3 trunks altogether. They want to show that the elephant is very important. They use the elephant to pull the stone to build the temple. They use the elephant for transportation, and they can use the elephant in the battlefield for fighting as well here. Elephant is an animal that symbolizes prosperity. Yeah. And this is a nice view there. You can see the picture with 3 trunks. One elephant, but they have 3 heads. Yeah, we're walking a little bit, like another 300 meters over there to the Terrace of the Leper King. This is a place that we call the Terrace of the Leper King. The king, he didn't get the leprosy. It's just only the nickname of this temple here. It is not.
only the nickname. What's the real name? What's the real story?
We lose the information of this temple. Some historian people, they're making estimated that they use this temple for cremations.
And then we're back on our bus and off to see more temples that we'll bring to you in future programs of World Traveler. Well, thanks for watching. That's all the time we have left for the main program. And now we're going to entertain you with a dance performance. This is at a nightclub that we went to, a wonderful dinner supper club with the dance of Cambodia. And while the dancers are going, we'll show you our phone number, and if you'd like to give us a call, we'd be happy to send you out some free information about the trips and activities of the Hawaii Geographic Society. You can call now. Our phone lines are open at 528-4411. And if you'd like to see this program again, it's on our website at tourvideos.com. We've got about 825 short movies available for you on the website, with most of the past episodes from World Traveler.